Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutations, and many blessings to those that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from the GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back into the spirit with another lesson. And I pray and hope this lesson is edifying. This lesson is in regard to this movie. It's called Leave the World Behind. Now, I saw the movie, and I come to the conclusion that the movie was actually a warning. It was telling you what's about to happen. And, I mean, it's uncanny how there were so many things in this movie that the men, the elders, the apostles, elders, and men of Great Millstone have been saying for years. Everything that's been happening, and I will say that as far as entertainment value, in my opinion, it wasn't very entertaining. It was, and this is my own personal opinion. It wasn't that entertaining at all. It was like reading a very informative book that was very dry. And that's kind of like this movie was to me. It was a very informative movie, but it was a very boring watch. Okay. Because it told you about things that were going to happen, and actually some things that are actually in the works right now. Okay, so there were many notes in the movie how the internet had went out in the movie, and there was an attack from many different nations, and there was a lot of death, lots of death, but all of this death was kind of like hidden in the background. You knew it was there because there was nobody around, but you didn't really see a lot of people, running around and pandemonium. It was just a lot of death everywhere. Most of the world was already out of there. But anyway, so I'm not gonna play any of these clips, but I just wanted to show, the little trailers of the movie, and it's definitely a movie you should watch. Okay, it's definitely a movie you should watch because it really does tell you exactly how what Esau's plan is. So I'm gonna start off with this precept. This is Second Ezra's, and I'm gonna start off at verse 68. It says, "For behold, the burning wrath of the great multitude is kindled over you. And they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot." So you're about to have a lot of people that are about to be trodden underfoot, for going along with these things that Esau is putting out there. You just going along, just going with the flow. It says, "For they shall be in every place, and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord." All right, so they're going to start coming for us, and it says, "They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but spoiling and destroying their those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses." Okay, so it's about to be real bad out here, man. When you go to Second Ezra 9, it says, this is 9:1, it says, "He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." And if you look at all of these things, the earthquakes, you look at all of the wars and rumors of wars and insurrections and famines amongst the people, right, that are happening right now. The dollar's getting ready to collapse. Everybody's turning against America. You're seeing that the Lord, the oceans are dying, the land is dying. The world is being visited by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, this place is being visited by the Lord. All right. Now, in that movie, it showed a very apocalyptic type scenario where most of the world was already dead, and those people that were alive had no idea what was going on. Okay. And then they had, and we're gonna get it too. We're gonna go scene by scene, things that I saw in the movie that are actually going to happen. Okay. And don't think that this movie is predicting anything, because it's not predicting nothing. This is not a prophet. This is not a movie where Esau is being a prophet. No, Esau knows what's going to happen. He's been listening to the men of the Lord for 60 years, man. Okay, so he know, and then even before then, he knew what was going to happen. He knew what his fate was going to be. Okay, this is why he's digging those holes in the bunkers and all that stuff. You know, it says, therefore, when thou shalt be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people, then thou shalt understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before, even from the beginning. So we see that these things that the Lord had been talking about are actually happening. We're seeing uproars of the people. We're seeing earthquakes in diverse places and all those different things. Okay? We're seeing all that stuff. All right? Verse 5, it says, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Okay? So the end is manifested. And we're at the end. Okay? And Esau know we at the end. That's why he's making these apocalyptic type movies with so many real life scenarios. You know? Real life scenarios. Like there was one part in the movie, and spoilers, if you haven't seen it, then hey, still go watch it. There was one part in the movie where the power grid and the internet went out. Okay, so you didn't have any power and you didn't have any internet. That's crippling to the United States, to Babylon. That's crippling. Okay, so when this internet goes out and you're no longer able to do your thing that you do and communicate and do your business transactions, and everything is cashless, and then they cut the power, you're really not going to have any access to your way of life. And since go back upstairs, and since your way of life is so against nature and the way the Lord actually made things, you're going to be completely lost in the sauce. You're not going to know what to do. All right, hold on for 1 second, Akil. Slack you. Salakia. Yeah, so moving on, all right, we're gonna go to Second Ezra, the 15th chapter. Second Ezra 15, it says, Now there was a part where um, um, the one of the sons got sick and his teeth start falling out. Okay, and they went to a neighbor that they knew had prepped for it, and they went to ask him, and he came out all aggressive, like, I'm only here to help me and mine. Okay, and this says and he wasn't having any pity upon them. He was like, I don't care, this is for me and my family. You go about your business, or it's gonna be you're gonna have problems. And it says, woe to the earth. This is second Ezra 15 and 14. It says, woe to the earth and them that dwell in. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand and fight against another with swords in their hands. Okay? For there should be sedition among men, invading one another, and they should not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And this was this one one of those things where he didn't have any he put his power in his own hands, man. He was like, nah, I'm not trying to help you at all. Get off my property, I'm gonna kill you. Right? This is what you got going on. And then it says, a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. Now there was a scene in the movie where they were using all the Teslas, right? And the Teslas were remotely controlled, and they were being used to block the roads. So all of these Teslas that was made were being driven to these areas. They were crashing into one another and blocking the road. So you could not leave a certain area. You couldn't leave one city and go into another. Okay. And I'm thinking, like, wow, that is a heavy way to stop somebody from traveling. You just block the road to where you can't get in and you can't get out. And that's exactly what it was. And it was blocked. It was blocked for hundreds of miles. Okay, to where you could not go into the city to see what was going on, and you couldn't leave the city. And it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Verse 18, it says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. This is a very fearful thing that they were going through, because they didn't know what was going on, And really, the movie, they gave a depiction of what would happen, but at the end of the day, they didn't make it as horrible as it's going to actually be in real life, And it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. And that one scene where the boy, where he got sick and his teeth was falling out, and they went to the neighbor, he was like, man, I don't care. This is for me and my own. He took no pity upon him. He was like, I'm not trying to help you whatsoever. Excuse me. Yeah, he was didn't have any pity upon him whatsoever. He was like, your boy just about to die. Now in the end, he ended up paying him a large lump sum of money to get some type of medication that probably didn't work. Okay, and it says, and then the two guys, the Jake and the white dude was at a standoff, pulling their guns on one another because Jake was like, you gonna help me, So Jake, if it would have escalated even more, he might have, shot my man up and went in there and tried to take his stuff. And that's more likely to happen in situations like that. If you know that somebody got something and you need it, you're not just about to just ask them for it. You're gonna go take it. And that's just, as it's about to say in the next sentence, it says, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see that? So you've seen in that movie that there was a great tribulation that was going on. All right. So they didn't show all of the stuff that was going on. They kind of gave undertones of everything that was happening. Okay. So you can imagine the things that were going on the earth when all of this stuff, when all that hell was breaking loose in that movie. So this movie was a warning. Esau was clearly telling us what was about to happen. What's about to happen in Babylon. Okay? Now, there was another scene in the movie, and it reminded me of Obadiah, the book of Obadiah. Yeah, Obadiah 1 and 7. It says, I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. Because there was a scene where there were these little pamphlets that dropped down, and it was written in Arabic. I believe it was Arabic. And it said, death to America, you know, and that was on the side of the world that they were on. Now, when they went to that one Jake and that one Edomite that they were trying to get the medicine from, that they ended up, giving him a big, huge lump sum of money for it. They showed it to him, and he said, I had a friend in California right before everything blacked out, and he said to me, these things were falling on a whole other in California, but he said that it was written in Korean, and he was like, maybe all of the other nations of the world teamed up and they're all fighting us all together, okay? Because basically America is a big bully, all right. So all of those men, all of those countries that were once on board with Babylon and said, nah, we not on board with y'all no more. And you're seeing that right now. You're seeing all the other nations of the world that are turning against America and Israel. Okay? And it says, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. So it's gonna get to a point where they're gonna prevail against Babylon. All right? They that eat their bread have laid a wound for thee. All of these people that you're giving all of this money to, that you're sending all of these U.S. dollars to try to do whatever, because that's when it talks about bread, it's just talking about provision, okay? All of these people that you're giving all of this provision to, all this money to, right? Yeah, they're gonna get their get back. And it said there's not understanding in him. All right. Now I'm gonna go to one more precept. I'm gonna close out with this because it just came to mind. This is Isaiah. Isaiah 33, it says, woe to thee that spoileth and was not spoiled, and dealt treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. And see, and this is exactly what's going to be happening with the rest of when all this break goes, when all of this hell starts to really happen. All of the other nations are going to deal treacherously. And you Babylonians think that y'all been complicit in the destruction of all of these other nations. Y'all think they gonna care that y'all children are dying? Huh? You think they gonna care when they bombing this place and your children are dying and you starving? You think these other countries gonna care? No, they're not gonna care. When they say death to America, that means to America and its people, because the American people, y'all Babylonians, have been complicit in the destruction of all these other nations. So they're going to get their get back, man. They're going to get their get back on you all, on Babylon. And I just, we the men of the Lord and myself, we pray that we found worthy to be saved from what's about to happen, because it's about to go down in America, and it's about to happen very soon. Okay? So going back to my original statement at the beginning, that movie was a warning. It was a warning. It was about to tell you what's about to go down, because there's too many things that in that movie that are already happening right now. Right? So, hey, y'all Jakes out there better get it together, man. Because pretty soon you're not gonna have the opportunity to get this truth anymore. Because when the internet goes, who you gonna access to? Who you gonna have access to that's gonna give you this knowledge? Okay? Because this is the way you're getting it right now. So, hey, and it's about to go. I look, I don't know if this has anything to do with anything, but I've been having trouble with my internet service, my cell phone service, all that stuff over the last few weeks. Okay, I've been having trouble with my stuff. All right, little stuff here like calls dropping that never happened before. Out of nowhere, not getting signal in certain areas. My Netflix on certain devices in my house keeps crashing. So it just makes you question like what's going on. These things have never happened before, so something is happening. You can't just chalk everything up to coincidence. These ain't no coincidences. These things are happening, man. So pay attention. All right, something big is about to go down very soon. When that happens, all of y'all jakes out there gonna be caught off guard, thinking that, oh, this was a game. It's not a game. They're not putting these movies out here for you to just think that nothing ain't gonna happen. Okay, they constantly putting apocalyptic movies out, and then little notes in those movies actually take root in our reality. All right, and y'all not paying attention, but when you look at the scriptures, the scriptures say these things are gonna happen, and they're in that movie. So with that, I pray you brothers edified. I'm gonna go ahead and end it off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Rakar Kadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles, and millstones. So the next time I say shalom.